Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look what time it is. Look what day it is. We've got a million tabs open. It is NBA and MLB Pick'em Live with Lindy. I am Lindy. I should have this overlay up. And here we go, beginning our boarding walk. It is time, friends, to discuss all the ins and outs of today's slate. I'm excited. Tails, you guys can check out a bunch of free goodness that I got going for you nonstop over there. That's where I post a link to be able to jump in and watch this. You can watch this on X. You can watch this as well over on YouTube on the Oddshopper YouTube channel. Would love for you guys to check it out there. Hit that like button if you could, or the heart over here on X. It's going to be good times. There's a ton of value, and I'm going to turn this music down because I'm a good producer and stuff. This is how we do things. There we go. All right, guys, how are we doing? Yesterday was an okay day. Obviously, the video was really good. Ended up almost up 2 units there, plus 1.78, even though some people just don't understand basic math. That's fine. Or unit allocation or anything of that sort is what it is. I'm here trying to do the Lord's work. I'm here trying to give you guys the best information I can on a day in, day out basis with the help of the tools that we've got here at Oddshopper. This is going to be the NBA side. We also have the MLB side. And once you know, Muncie got completely nuked overnight. Posted a lot of good stuff over on Tails already. You might have saw Butler, Kirby, Muncie, Kirby. Muncie, you can't really get at that number anymore. Again, I wish I'd put more than 10 on that at the time, but trying to make sure that the lines don't move all at once. Plus, I'm putting a lot of optimizer stuff together nonstop. You might have seen like, oh, Eric, you've got a lot of different stuff there with the dollar. Trying to get this optimizer thing going sooner rather than later so we can get a lot of advantageous pick 'em for you. So, hundreds of dollar cards, trying to figure out the best path to be able to help you make that not get all the lines to move immediately, because they will throughout the course of this show, throughout last night. I mean, it was good times. Plus, there's a ton of value over on PrizePicks right now in the hits prop department. I'll get into the ins and outs of that and what I'm looking at. First off, how are you doing this fine morning? It's fine afternoon. Afternoon, that's where we are now. It is afternoon. That's how this works. I'm excited, though, because we've got a lot of great tools to utilize. We have Tails, where you can find some of the experts that you know, trust, love. Find some new ones as well while you're at it. There's a Find Expert button. You can find all of the different people that can make your life better in the betting department. So a lot of home run stuff, a lot of hits, a lot of blessed bombs. Oh, yeah. John the Bettist firing up some good stuff. We're on the same Kevin McGonigal. I bet him yesterday. I bet him today. He had 49,876 bases yesterday. Just could that one leave the yard? He smoked a baseball. I hate Petco sometimes. I missed that wind funnel from 2 years ago. Those were good times. But we're going to get into anything you want to know. Doing the 999 challenge for the Yankees game today. Let's get it, Lindy. Don't throw up. Actually, throw up. That's funny. Just don't do it on anyone or you'll get arrested and stuff. That'd be bad. But yeah, I woke up in the same clothes as yesterday. Orlando, woo! Yeah, that felt really good. Nice to get a 1.5 unit one there that... Again, please practice the best unit allocation. You don't even have to think about it if you're over in the premium Discord, the Lindy and Friends Discord. And you know what? Why don't I just throw that up here for 2 seconds before we dive in to the MLB and the NBA slate. We can talk about whatever you want to. We can do all of the things, but I should probably also move the Aranda comment here at this point, although I could keep it up forever. It's opening day. There are less than 15 redemptions left. I knew that these were going to go fast because MLB is obviously... I'm not going to call it my time to shine, but definitely something I'm quite good at and something I absolutely love to take inventory of what the industry has going and offering. And just doesn't seem like there's a lot of sharp MLB people. There's a lot of sharp NBA people that I definitely know you have access to, my DK DFSs of the world and such. But MLB is its own thing. You can put together long shot parlays. You can do a lot of crazy things and make a lot of money. But overall, I want you to be calculated with your bankroll. I want you to be smart with your bankroll. And then right at the get-go, beginning of the season, remember, we got 6 months of betting on this sport, 7 months of betting on this sport. I can hold your hand along the way. We can do a lot of really good things together utilizing the tools at Oddshopper and Stochastic. We can do a lot of things originating some of our own plays using Fangraphs, using Baseball Savant, using your own personal sheets. Plus, there's AI stuff you can utilize now to really help you get an edge. Nope, we don't care about that. We care about the right overlay in there. But that promo code first pitch, that's in the YouTube description box below, or if you're watching on X, you can take a look in my bio. It is up there. But we got Greg Ehrenberg posting NBA plays. Nothing like grinding a little Nikhil Alexander-Walker over 2.5 rebounds to get your day going with my good friend Greg Ehrenberg, who I will be on MLB Live before lock with today. Looking forward to that one. Going to be good times. But tried to change around some of the overlays and what we're dealing with here on a day in, day out basis. Want to be able to cater towards some goodness here. And plus, we got baseball starting in what? Just over 2 hours? San Francisco. We got the Giants, Yankees running it back. So if you guys have questions about anything that we're going to be putting together on this show, I have been focusing mainly on Underdog for a number of reasons. One, they have the best payouts in the industry. Two, they're the only viable 2-pick place. And, I know Lannister 13 is out here in the streets. I'm giving him a lot of love these days, but he just goes crazy with parlays this time of season. Be very careful with your unit allocation, what you're putting in from your bankroll. It is a long baseball season. Yes, we want to be early to the party, and we'll be early to the party with this Max Muncy, because I can't tell you enough how high I am on him. I think the McGonagall one, people realize really quickly. I mean, he's the number 2 prospect in baseball, number 1 in the Detroit organization, 21 years old with amazing plate discipline, and was somebody I was very high on a couple months ago, kind of just like, oh, this guy's going to be with the big league club like right away. He's ready to go. He's quite good at the old baseball. I did end up posting over in Tails and had those pick'em cards from last night. We'll pull that up here. I guess I could just go to my profile, dipshit. That'd be cool. Why don't we do that? Anywho, let's take a look at some posts, shall we? Went live in 5. That was me. George Kirby, Max Muncy. That Max Muncy number is no longer with us. RIP. But overall, there's still a ton of hit value. We're not going to be going to a 0.88x on Max Muncy hits, but the Oddshopper tools in the hits department, very effective, very easy to use them for a number of different things. Let me show you how. One of the best is just sorting by edge. And we can find some of these where it's like minus 130, Jonathan India. Batting further down in the Kansas City lineup than I think a lot of us anticipated. I did not see Lane Thomas batting third today. Did not see that one coming. Also, what are they going to do with some of these guys? Isbell, we know Caglianon is going to pinch hit for Lane Thomas if Atlanta brings in a righty, and that shows up. Might also happen for Starling Marte for what it's worth, but facing Chris Sale and a lefty, we are very aware of how good this guy can be. It's early. Everybody's working out the kinks, but Chris Sale, some interesting stuff from him. '86 pitches. 86 pitches against his former team, ramping into this season. 2 back-to-back quality starts to finish it out. Nothing crazy in the K department, but that can also be, I don't want to tip my hand. I don't want to show just how good my curveball is at the moment. And then the real season starts and you just start letting it rip a little bit more. So he's at 6.5 strikeouts. I'm not going to read too much into AAA, lineups that you might be facing. Maybe a couple of major league hitters there throughout, but you're not getting everybody's best every single time. Chris Sale, 3 times through this Kansas City lineup, not the best for strikeouts by any means. I mean, look at this. Garcia, Witt Jr., Sal Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, Marte, India, Collins, Carter Jensen. Lane Thomas is really your only strikeout, and he's traditionally a pretty good dude when it comes to facing lefties. He was a utility guy for Cleveland. We've seen him bounce around here and there, but he's out there to hit lefties. That's how he still has a major league job. Because if it were up to anybody else, that would not be the case. We can take a look. Lane Thomas. I thought about trying to still snipe his hits prop, but again, you're getting 3 at-bats. I'd be shocked if we got 4 at-bats just based on what we've got in the Atlanta pen. They're going to bring in some righties to deal with the top of that order in short order. Sub 100 ISO against them. So Jack Caglianon coming off of a World Baseball Classic, Italy. He hits the ball hard. Now, I did not see him batting third considering his WRC plus last season. Horrendous. He had a tough year. But for his career, same deal. I always like the advanced settings, kind of like double checking in on that. Versus lefties. There's that. Better numbers versus righties, but at this point, yeah, there's this. Versus lefties. 135 WRC plus. 84 WRC plus versus righties. Right on right, not going to be in that lineup a lot. You put in a lot of work, Lindy, and you're a good dude. Thank you. You are so welcome. What a nice thing to say. Don't get a lot of that. I have a lot of people who can't do math. There's that. Look at this. Somebody explain to me what this is. Where did I post it? Yeah, I posted MLB Lindy's last night over on X. We got crushed on picks yesterday. Need a bounce back. Pretty sure the video was just fine. There's a quarter unit I lost on Basello. There was also Colson Montgomery half unit. So it ended up being just over a unit. But math is a thing, guys. And going 3-3, who gives a fuck about record? We're here to make money. If you put a quarter unit on Jonathan Aranda, you made over a unit and a half on one swing of the bat. Trevor Rogers goated like I knew he would against my Twins. My Twins are going to be so bad against lefties, but also we'll give them a little bit of a break here early in the season purely because of how high I am on Trevor Rogers and his ability to run prevent like we saw Phillies. That was never in doubt at any point in that baseball game. Christopher Sanchez, haters repent. Also did win a small play, I guess, on Christopher Sanchez there. Was down a little bit on Pick'em, less than a half unit on the day, but there wasn't a great amount of Pick'em value. Part of it is all the numbers were out for like 2-3 days. Now we're able to jump onto numbers that were introduced last night. And that becomes a better game for us because things get hammered into efficiency town. Think about the NFL. NFL lines just get more and more and more and more efficient. Props get more and more and more efficient as the week goes on until you get to Sunday. Books have been releasing them a little bit later as a result, just to give themselves more coverage and not get sniped immediately. But books have a lot of surface area to cover. Pick'em sites have a lot of surface area to cover. We get to pick and choose what we play. We're the ones who are going to put money on the line. We're the ones who are going to be doing that. They have to put money on the line by introducing a bajillion lines, and then when they get action in one way, shape, or form, shaping it into form. Not saying they won't make a stand, because they absolutely will. That's a huge conception. Oh, we want to get 50-50 action on both sides. Hopefully you understand that that is not true, that they're more than happy to take stands because math is a thing. We're happy to make stands too, and we get to choose what we're playing. We get to choose what we're firing up. So that's what I fired up on Thursday's video. Nice to be profitable right out the gate for everybody on MLB Lindy's, but that was a day ago, and you're only as good as what you do today. So let's put in some work. Let's get to it, shall we? But again, thank you so much for the nice stuff. Muncy and Ohtani home run. Oh, those are going to not be on the card. I will say the Max Muncy of Oakland is going to be on the card, but I'm assuming you're talking Dodgers. And I'm not a Ryan Nelson guy. I am on the run line, actually. The chalkiest play of all chalk plays. Want to see where it's at now. But I thought the Dodgers were wildly undervalued. Yeah, minus 115 now. I mean, they were even money last night, and that made no sense to me. The Dodgers did not have to use any of their main bullpen arms. They are the best team in baseball at every element of the game, and Emmett Sheehan versus Ryan Nelson is not a fair fight. Does Arizona have an offense? Sure. They brought back a lot of pieces, obviously losing Suarez at the deadline last year, and then coming this year, you don't have Suarez. You got Nolan Arenado, which is a definite downgrade at this stage of their careers. Versus left-handed pitching, that was yesterday for a couple of different things. But yeah, versus righties last season. I guess it was righty last night against Zach Gallen. But versus righties last season, WRC plus Arizona, they got some pieces. Now, this is actually updated to 2026 now. So we got to get ourselves calibrated and make sure that we do not screw this up. We're going to go back March 1st, 2025 until now. It's one game. I'll put one game in the middle of 162 of them and I'll be okay with it. But 2025 coming into this, where are we at? Why is this so loud? Maybe I do have to trim it. We're going to update for that. This is also true, Zach Davidson. From the safety of my couch, brother, the beer's easy. The Glizzies. I know. The Glizzies are just 9 hot dogs, man. I love myself a good Dodger dog. I love myself a nice, warm Dodger dog. But my God, 9 of them. Also, if you're making them at home, you're saving $150. So that's probably a good idea too. Probably a good idea too. But overall, we've got ourselves so many things to put money on. And in the underdog streets for Stochastic, we've got the props tool. I'm going to update this too while we're going because I'm going to combine some NBA. I'm going to combine some MLB. We have the entire board to work with, so why not? Hell, I might even look at some college basketball. There was one college basketball play under on a points that was like minus 125 market-based. There are some boosts that I saw around. Like I have this bracket booster builder. I didn't utilize that yet. It's open all weekend. We hit one massive one for $500 2 weeks ago now it was, during like the big tournament plays, like the conference tournaments. NCAA tournament, I have been hooked. I have been battered. I didn't even do anything yesterday for it. So still clinging to profit, clinging to that profit, but have, I think, missed 6 consecutive college basketball market-based cards. Because, again, I'm not going to do projections for it. I'm simply going to see if we can look at the Oddshopper screen, which, Lindy 15, if you guys are looking down at the video description box below, if you like what you see, it's good times. There's a lot of good stuff in here. We got Portfolio EV. We have live ARB tools. We have live tools in general where you can get live bets in across the markets and see what best available is. We've got EV for those. We got, as I said, the ARBs going there. We've got parlay builders, DraftKings Pick 6 optimizer, and of course the odds screen, which I use every single day, nonstop. But you can organize these by edge and you can organize them by true odds. And we've got NBA here and we got MLB here. And obviously nice to be seeing that we're going to get some kind of closing line value on the Dodgers. Not that that surprises me, that the public would be on the Dodgers after they win 8-2, but said it was going to be a square play. I knew it was going to be a square play and I didn't really care. It was even money. It made no sense. Should have definitely been more towards minus 115. And that's where it sits now. So probably don't want to touch it if you're jumping in a little bit late to the program on that. But strikeouts, it's early in the season. Pitch counts. They're definite things. And again, we're trying to beat the minus 115 threshold because on Underdog, when you combined one standard play with another standard play, you get paid 3.5x now. That's a huge deal. That's minus 115 per leg. That's a much better threshold than minus 122 for your optimal 6-pick or 5-pick builds over on PrizePicks, where you flex them out and have it that way. Howdy, Lindy. Hope everyone is having a lovely day so far. So nice. Everybody is so nice today. Won't you be my neighbor? Detroit Moneyline. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I bet McGonigal against Michael King. I traditionally like Michael King. Michael King has a couple of curious things from last year. I talked about him on the video, some of the year-over-year changes for him. And here's what I also think. And I didn't talk about this as much as I probably should have, but I bring up constantly when Michael King's on the mound that he was transitioned from one of the best relievers in baseball, which is what he was with the Yankees, into a starter. And that happened really late on in 2023. And he had some unbelievable starts, 7.1% barrel percentage overall. Everything across the board was pretty in check, like some of the best starter in baseball kind of things. And then He gets paid. He goes to San Diego because, once again, he proved that he could be a functional, not just functional, he could be a really good Major League Baseball starter. Not that he wasn't last season. 3.44 ERA, you take that all day. 24.7% K rate, you take that all day. 38.1% hard hit, you take that all day. But it was regression year over year for him, and he had a massive workload. He nearly doubled the most pitches he had in a season. And I'm not going to call it arm fatigue because I don't think that's what it is, but we saw some definite issues with Michael King last year. Started to give up some power and giving up more hard pull contact. He is a fly ball pitcher. What's his average launch angle? 15.8 degrees. I mean, he was a fly ball pitcher even in Yankee Stadium, and he was fantastic because you come in, and as a starter, you can just know you're going one inning. You're going maybe two toppies, but like you're going one inning for sure if you're Michael King. And for that one inning, you throw your best stuff. You're coming in. Guys don't have a chance to figure you out. You're not going to probably be tipping your pitches the way other guys might. There's not as much film on you, I suppose. There's a lot of things that, again, I'm not a baseball player. I have no biases in this sport, but I'm a curious individual when it comes to betting. And I'm curious when it comes to why would somebody be struggling year over year and have this kind of regression. And I think the most obvious thing is we're probably going to live closer to this range going forward. Maybe around like a 4 expected ERA. He's still good, but I don't think he's going to be like elite shutdown, dominant Michael King that we saw his first season as a big league starter. Because this was his first full season doing that in that capacity. So there's definitely some things where we can kind of capitalize on that. I bet McGonagall to homer. It's the only thing I've added since the video. I think we're going to kind of be combing through some of this, finding some more bets, and obviously we're going to be putting it together, some pick 'em. But the total strikeouts market, these things fly. They move. We're going to see these fly throughout the entire season. I did end up on George Kirby last night. I lied. George Kirby, I did bet last night. And he's obviously on that pick 'em card that I threw down there too. And he's sitting around minus 115. So again, kind of like the break even market based, but we saw Cleveland roll out Manzardo high up in the order. We saw Deloria. I mean, what an unbelievable debut for him. We're talking about McGonagall. Holy Lord of Christ Jesus, our Savior, and amen. Chase DeLauder, Estee Lauder himself, just smacked. 29.7 degree launch, 4 batted ball events, 2 homers. That'll do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. But there are strikeouts to be had. And year over year, Cleveland against righties, because, you know, you're going from Gilbert to Kirby. And we go back to this data here, 2025, strikeout rate. Cleveland routinely, one of the better teams avoiding strikeouts, but there were more strikeouts available versus them last year than in years past. They were middle of the road at 22%. And Chase DeLauder batting second, power hitter. And you go to like some of his minor league numbers, pretty decent. I mean, he didn't strike out 23 strikeouts in 149. Again, just doing top of my head math, that's sub 20% for a strikeout rate. That's pretty good. That's really good up there. We'll see how that translates long term. But let's look at some of his minor league numbers. Valdez under fantasy. I am definitely under on Valdez relative to the market today. Bet is under strikeouts, 4.5 plus money. I think he's at, I didn't see where that shifted to. That was one where I was like, you know, I don't feel as good about the pitch count. And pitch count is such a big thing that we're doing constantly for all of these guys, especially early in the season before we get a more known baseline. And got to 77 pitches. I don't think 90 plus is on the table for Framber today. Maybe I'm just way off kilter, but we're seeing him change teams, going Houston to Detroit. He's going to get deployed a little bit differently. It's really hard to look at 2025 for San Diego because they had a guy that was batting in the top 2, Luis Arraez, who never strikes out. Never strikes out. In fact, that's our first game right out the gate. Luis Arraez, shocker, didn't strike out yesterday. Or on Wednesday it was. They didn't play yesterday. But I don't see, my God. My God, Luis Arraez. What? That's his K rate, guys. That's just unheard of stuff. It's also insane that you're getting like a leadoff hitter who never walks. And that's why it was such a big deal that he hit under 300 last season. Because you're not getting a lot of OBP love. You can get hit by a pitch. You can do a lot of other things, I suppose, to get himself on base, period. But doesn't walk at all. It's just contact. Best hand-eye coordination in baseball, probably. Not probably, does have the best hand-eye coordination in baseball. Just bat to ball, because 3% is stupid beyond stupid. Stephen Kwan is an elite avoiding strikeout guy. And is it triple? Is it triple the strikeout rate? I think it might be. Just barely inside of triple. 8.7% K rate last season. First career 9.6%, which would obviously be triple. But this is as elite as it gets. Top 1% of baseball, and yet there's a guy who is a third of that. It's so dumb what Luis Arraez is. Speaking of the Giants, Judge bounce back. Nah. If I did anything, I'd be taking under 1.5 total bases. I've kind of been checked out of the total bases market to start off this season. Haven't ran any of my own stuff for it, purely because from a market-based perspective, you're looking at 1% edges. You're looking at 1% edges. I think we can find a lot more upside. Here you go, 5.7% edge. A little bit better. Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit. Let's get this organized here. Come on. There we go. All right. It's just, I'm going to let this market play out. I talked about it yesterday. These holds are a lot lower than what we had on opening day. Some of these are, at least. Andy Pages hits a bomb in the 8-hole. What a nice, to have a guy who hits 30 plus jacks to be in your 8-hole on opening day. That's got to just be so unfair and demoralizing as a pitcher. And Kershaw talked about it a little bit on the broadcast, but you never get an out off. Zach Gallen was he had it cruising, and then you ran into one hiccup, another hiccup, and then a 3-run bomb, and all of a sudden you're down 3-2. Thanks for coming. Have a nice day. Highly variant is baseball. Again, I could very much lose that Dodgers bet. Dodgers could lose 8-2 today. And it's not a crazy outcome in baseball. If Oklahoma City lost by 20 to the Wizards or 30 to the Wizards, or today, they're playing the Bulls. They're 20-point favorites to the Bulls. If they lost by 20 to them, we're talking a crazy outlier. But bad teams beat good teams 8-2 all the time in baseball. It's something that'll happen. You'll rarely get these massive, even the Dodgers today on the run line to win by 2. We got them at even money. They're minus 115. 15 cents. You're not going to get crazy closing line value. It's not going to move a couple of points because we know Ohtani's going to be in the line. We just have more known variables as far as who's facing whom, but then it's a highly variant sport. And so we play a long game. We're playing the long-term game. But this total basis market, it does have one thing that's kind of interesting about it when you talk about PrizePicks and bringing it back to Pick'em. Total bases and hits aren't always listed under the same deal. And we do have some advantageous Pick'em spots where we can really snag some numbers. Now, Freddie Furman, If that over 0.5 existed on any of these, that'd be sweet. But I'm going to scroll down until we get to a PrizePicks one. Here we are. Dominic Canzone, minus 115 best available. Dominic Canzone is going to be a pinch hit candidate. Now, he goes double dong yesterday. Maybe they give him some looks. Maybe they give him 1 or 2 looks against lefties. And this is where it becomes very important to be in roster resource and understand what's available out of each team's bullpen when you're putting together projections for guys who are going to potentially be looking at fewer at-bats because they might not get a 4th at-bat in a baseball game. And I will say it's very likely that we see some lefties come in to face Raley and Canzone. So despite them both being like your home run guys yesterday, I had them projected for fewer at-bats. I thought the numbers were pretty efficient on them, to be fair, and I'm a big Dominic Canzone fan. I'm also just understanding of, unless I'm going to post some unders on some home runs, and I didn't feel like doing that, I don't think you're looking at a spot where like a Dominic Canzone is going to be all that live for late at bats. You've got Victor Robles, got a number of guys in Seattle. So there's enough lefties here between Sobrowski and Heron. And did either of them pitch yesterday? I quit watching that game because I had to record at some point. It's important to do my job. In your a-hole is so demoralizing. Yeah. Should I say in your eye hole? I should do that. D-backs don't have any left-handed pitchers. Huge thing to consider. And the fact that we didn't get Alex Freeland in that opening day lineup. He was projected 8th. You might have noticed Zach Gallen's strikeout numbers went down right before lock. People were reacting correctly to that. People don't really react in baseball to lineup cards as fast as they should. If you know what you're doing, you saw Alex Freeland. And you saw, again, see how he has a 50 next to his name? He didn't appear in the game. Dalton Rushing also from the left side, but Will Smith yeah, you're not going to sit him for that. But switch hitter, Alex Freeland. They went to Rojas as the starter there. This guy struck out a metric ton. And when you remove him and you put Rojas in, who never strikes out, Zach Gallen unders on his strikeout props were definitely the right place to be for it. I wasn't able to react to it. The numbers moved within like 2-3 minutes, but it was a big deal. And yeah, Arizona, 0 lefties in the pen. What are they, the Yankees from last year? Where they only had Bird in the pen? What a dumb construction of a baseball team for both of them. What a dumb construction. You're letting everybody know they don't have to put any thought into their lineup card playing you. They don't have to put any thought into it on a day in, day out basis. How in modern baseball can you not have lefties coming out of the pen? I don't understand. But back to the hits prop. I'm probably not going to be going to the Canzone one purely because of, wrong spot. Ref Snyder. Ref Snyder is going to come into the game for Luke Raley and or Dominic Canzone at some point in a baseball game where we see one of those 2 lefties from Cleveland. He is going to come in. Now, can they do something before then? Absolutely. Dominic Canzone. Ridiculous first game. Luke Raley for sure is toast. If the lefty comes in. And it just makes sense in the construction of the lineup that we saw yesterday. Naylor, Raley, Canzone. You stack and Young. You get all these lefties right here. This is when you bring your lefty in the 7th, 8th inning. That's what you do. Lannisters know a thing or two about lineups. I bet you do. I bet you do. You like the Jays to win today. I'm considering quarter unit, half unit on an A's team total 3.5 and Jays money line parlay plus 395 on DK. I think it's way better price than it should be. Priced on 4 other books, getting plus 270, plus 327. So you're looking for that increased value on an over. Do you get anything bolstered on it by betting the over? Because obviously you're looking at least 8 runs, 9 runs, because you can't finish 4-4. So you need the Athletics to score 4, and then you're asking the Blue Jays to score 5. So that's 9. That's the over. There's interesting stuff like that. I haven't done the math on it, so I'm not going to do it while we're here on this program or try to sound like it, but I think that seems like a good bet if you like the over of the game, potentially bringing everybody to the party. I think the Athletics lineup is a fascinating one. This will be our first look at them, so let's pull them up. There is no doubt Nick Kurtz, Shea Langoliers, Tyler Soderstrom, Brent Rooker. 4 very, very, very good hitters. Elite hitters, in fact. This is elite stuff. Lawrence Butler against righties, pretty darn good. Although Kevin Gausman's splitter, I'm a little nervous. I did take his over on the hits prop, and I think it's still available. I think it's still just kind of hanging there. It's probably my least favorite of the hit props that we're going to cover on this one. But as I said, for total bases, Butler, sometimes books will have different prices for 0.5 hits and 0.5 total bases, even though they shouldn't. So let's go to the alt lines and make sure that we're all on 0.5 here. PrizePicks still is available. Minus 120 on Fanatics would be a fine bet as well. I'm fine with either one of those. Let's just take a look at what his hits are, because sometimes, said this before, they just have different prices listed. Like Fanatics, minus 125 for his total hits. So please take his over total bases, 0.5 total bases. Please, please, please do that. PrizePicks is best available in the hits prop. So again, they're identical things. Over 0.5 total bases and over 0.5 hits are the same thing, and yet books will charge you more tax on one side of that than the other. Usually that tax occurs in the hits prop because somebody's like, oh, I think I'm going to add him to get a hit. I'll add him to get a hit. Not realizing that 0.5 total bases could have saved you 5 cents, which over 100 bets is saving you money. I would be on the Tigers money line side of it if I had to. I'm not probably going to fire it purely because I don't love Valdez and I don't know how much we're going to get out of him today. I mean, Valdez is good, don't get me wrong, but Michael King's kind of my boy. And I do think San Diego's pen is about to still be a problem for people. Didn't have to see him yesterday because they got torched. They got torched. But back to roster resource for this. Padres, just to show you this. This is dumb. This is dumb. These 3 are dumb. You get in late innings against Padres, they're going to win a lot of close baseball games this year. We're talking a reliever with a 2.3 projected WAR. He struck out how many in a row during the World Baseball Classic? 27 or some shit? Was something dumb like that? All right, so they did cover the boost on that. Okay, so I think the way you constructed it actually makes sense if you like the over of that game, but obviously you are putting some pressure on both sides of it. But doing napkin math in my brain, close to plus 400 for that, I don't hate it. Toronto money line with like a over 3.5 for Athletics. I don't think that should be paying you nearly 4-1. Blue Jays, Yanks, Astros, Marlins. Do I like the money line parlay? Probably not. I also know that it's not my money. And I also know that I'm not going to parlay. I'm saying that knowing that I did parlay 2 unders in totals in the evening window for NBA tonight. So riddle me that, Batman. Yankees are the right side of this one to me. Yankees are the right side. So reading the first thing right off the bat, seeing Yankees, I think is the right side. I think Blue Jays is actually the right side of this one too, although I'd want to see what you're getting for the tax, because it's one thing to set a line. Your edge is going to change based on whatever the price is. It's not like, who do you think wins? Like, I don't think about baseball like that. I don't think about sports betting like that. I'm going to be wrong a lot of the time, but when I'm right, I want to make more money than I otherwise would have. If something's minus 300, that should be minus 200. That's a gigantic amount of edge, even though it looks quote unquote chalky. I don't care about that aspect of it, but I got to think that some of these are pretty efficient. I didn't end up firing anything outside of the run line because the run line I saw just was broken. I mean, the Dodgers are up to minus 250 favorites now. That's pretty wild. But Blue Jays, Yanks, I think are both the right side of that one, just looking at the edge. We're going to get low hold. These are very liquid markets. A lot of money coming in both sides. Somebody's got $5,362 posted on Kalshi right now, trying to get that at minus 119, or trying to get the Yankees at minus 119. Let that tell you a little something. How about this too? 10,733. Again, that's not one individual. That's just going to be like the book, the entire book over at Kalshi. So I don't want to say one individual, but this is one individual. This is one individual. 9,695. Sometimes they're aiming for an ARB. Sometimes they're happy to be very heavily invested at one side and maybe understand they can get a buyback at a book of some kind if they want to trim their exposure there. There's a game within a game when you're betting money lines in MLB. If I can get this picked up at this price, I know I can buy it at minus 125 at BetMGM as long as I'm not limited there. I can get this filled at Novig minus 125. And if I get this order filled at, whatever it might be that I'm aiming, minus 120, I know there's a plus 122 there, and I'm able to trim down my exposure there. I could flat out ARB it, guarantee myself some type of profit, or I could trim my exposure and be in a really good position. So there's a game within a game when you're talking about some of the exchanges and things, but for the most part, looking at the edge here, minus 125 available there. I think that's the right side of that one just from a top-down perspective. Blue Jays, I think a lower edge. I don't like the A side as much for sure. Astros, probably going to be where I lose you, if I'm honest. I don't think you make money long-term betting on that baseball game. If that baseball game plays out, we can say 100 times because there's 162 games in the season. You play this game 100 times, I think you're paying the VIG a lot of the time betting them at these prices with these pitchers. Kikuchi, pretty known. I think I think I'm probably going to be saying that that's my least favorite of the grouping. And Marlins I'm all right with purely because you can't set prices high enough. You just can't against the Rockies. You just can't. You couldn't last year. You can't this year. There's going to be a lot of wonky prices that we see. But I mean, like last year, you didn't make money betting on the Dodgers. And I'm very aware that if you did that long term, you probably lost money on the season just at any of their normal money line or run line prices. They did not make you money last season. You bet them every day, but obviously you don't have to bet everybody every day. That's really not what you want to be doing. Last thing, and yeah, Rockies. So the one game that I don't like in that grouping is Angels Astros. Otherwise, I think you're on the right side of those. I just have to know what the prices were. I can't just say like, oh, this is going to be that. I like the Braves a lot better as a parlay piece, but it seemed higher on their bullpen than most. Yeah, you probably are, because I'm not very high on their bullpen at all. What are you high on in the pen? What are you high on in their pen? I'm literally not high on anybody. Robert Suarez is good. Robert Suarez is really good, actually, but it's one guy. We saw him with San Diego setting up Mason Miller. We saw him, be the righty guy that they would piggyback off of. Robert Suarez, I like. I don't like Raisel Iglesias as my closer. Dylan Lee is just a dude. I mean, look at their rest of season projections. Nothing is very impressive to me there. This is an interesting one, Aaron Bummer, just because of what we know he can be, but Osvaldo Bido, man, that's like another long reliever along with Fuentes, but gonna be tough for me. I'm not an Iglesias guy. I'm really not. Kyle Manzardo is the best total bases play on the board. So back to Pick'em, because this is a Pick'em show, I suppose, but want to entertain anything and everything on these shows, especially MLB. Then we'll cover a couple of NBA plays, but the best play on the Pick'em board right now is Kyle Manzardo hits. Hopefully it's still there when I get off this show. Looks like it's gone. Or is it in total bases? It might actually be in the total bases. This is exactly what I was talking about. Not even listed for a hit right now, but I know he was just there for total bases. Yeah, there you go. So let's build out a PrizePicks card together, shall we? Let's do this as a family, as an exercise, if you will. Kyle Manzardo. We know what lineup order he's going to be in. We know he's going to be same damn place as he was yesterday. Bat and cleanup. You don't hit eject after one game. And Kyle Manzardo, generally your cleanup hitter anyway in those situations. Where's he at? Now remember, Lane Thomas is gone. He is not on Cleveland anymore. The pinch hit concerns that might have existed there have been lessened on the Cleveland side. They're still going to do a lot of fuckery, don't get me wrong, because they try to play optimally. David Fry still exists and can be that guy, but I still think with David Fry at this point, you're still better off going to Kyle Manzardo in leverage situations. Davis isn't going to pinch hit for him. Angel Martinez probably not going to pinch hit for him. Basically, David Fry or bust. And with Kyle Manzardo DHing, it makes it more of an opportunity. David Fry for 1 year and 1 year only just destroyed left-handed pitching. But that went by the wayside pretty quickly. Last year was not just a down year, it was a in the doldrums year. But I can be on the strikeouts for Kyle Manzardo and still have Kyle Manzardo. We could even just pair him with Lawrence Butler for now. I put him as a placeholder. Lawrence Butler, as we're building this out. But we're just going strictly off of the fact that you're getting 3 at-bats probably against George Kirby. There are lefties for the pen for Seattle, but I do think your pinch hit concerns are somewhat mitigated this season for Manzardo. If it was Lane Thomas, that's like an automatic, we're going to swap him in the 8th or 9th inning. I don't think it's automatic for David Fry too. Coming off of an abysmal season. 229 OBP, primarily as a platoon guy. Yeah, we don't like that. It's like the opposite of Kirk Cousins. You don't like that? You don't like that? So Lawrence Butler, Kyle Manzardo. I mean, minus 135s across the board here. Minus 143. Somebody's trying to really get themselves in a nice spot there. Penny at minus 133. Kyle Manzardo, it's tough to beat what we're getting on PrizePicks there. I know that it's at minus 114 true odds here and such, but I do think the market doesn't have it 100% correct. I think we're in a really good spot with Manzardo at that. So over 0.5 total bases for sure. Cam, I'm trying not to think about it. I'm especially happy to be on this stream right now because I don't have to think about my Iowa State Cyclones. I don't have to think about the pain that could exist in the end of this evening if somehow, some way, they don't get it done against Tennessee. Because I will not be well. I will not be in a good place. Not only will I not be in a good place, I will actually cry. Total basis for the Marlins against Freeland. I don't think so. We can filter it out to that game. Rockies, Marlins. We'll save that for a filter for now. Just make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Xavier Edwards looks okay, but that's obviously other side of it. A lot of red. A lot of top-down red. No. It's funny, somebody has Moniak listed. There's no way Moniak's in the lineup. Or wait. Moniak's for sure in the lineup. Why would Moniak, is he dinged up? Moniak had a decent season last year for Rockies standards. He's got to be hurt or on IL, right? Okay, there you go. 10-day IL. We'll see. Sprained finger. Interesting. So Jake McCarthy going to be your leadoff guy. This looks about what we're going to get. Trey Johnston. He'll matter in DFS and Coors. I don't think he's going to matter other times. And versus a righty here. Kind of what we're getting. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. We have their lineup, don't we? We have to have their lineup. Nope, we don't. I have Miami's. So yeah, we'll be sitting waiting on some of that news, but I don't think it's amazing. I just think it's got a bit of depth, mostly decent arms, a couple really solid ones. Could be way off. We'll see. For which one? I don't know which one we were talking. Oh, you're talking about the Atlanta bullpen. Yeah, no. If Kyle Freeland wins the Cy Young, I will actually quit betting baseball forever. I will. We do agree he's a gas can. He's pitching in Miami against Miami. That helps the case for a lot of pitchers because Kyle Freeland sucks. Horrendous. Look at some of his home road. That's like the most important thing you can do for a lot of these starting pitchers. And Michael Lorenzen, decent enough World Baseball Classic, but let's take some home road splits into account, shall we? All these guys should be better on the road. Pitching at home, not an advantage. Gave up less home runs per 9, interesting. 320 average, 272 on the road. 1.61 whip, 1.27 on the road. 294 BABIP on the road. Better left on base, better strand rate on the road. 4.23 xFIP on the road. He's a gas can, but he pitches half of his games in Coors. That can't be fun. What a dopey individual, though. Dude's making so much money to get shelled. That's fun. We agree he's a gas can. It's just a really hard ballpark. And you look at some of the splits for Miami, which I do think are somewhat applicable. There has been some turnover, but nothing crazy. I'm actually going to X out one of these tabs, mainly because I set this one up to be the right data range from last year, so I might as well keep it. That makes sense, right? So you look at Freeland. Nothing. He has a cutter that's okay from what I remember. Knuckle curve. That's really good, but everything else sucks. Just throw the knuckle curve 50 times. Weather is not going to be applicable to Miami. Not going to be applicable with the roof. Or you're talking Atlanta weather. It's another rough one. There's nothing better, though, than landing against the Colorado Rockies. They set some historic numbers last year, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Look at this team against righties. Let's just organize it by K rate, shall we? And they do have some new faces, but while the Angels struck out a little bit more, 74 WRC plus is just Lee Trevino, Happy Gilmore. Shake the head. Not much else to say. It's adjusting for Park, but like Colorado plays in Coors, they're getting penalized to some extent, but like at 152 ISO is a mirage. Let's look at them away. Wait until you see this. Wait until you see this. It defies logic, man. They are so bad. So bad outside of Coors. It actually hurts my soul. Any pick six today, Lindy? I saw there were a couple of discounts. They were like 1 strikeout discounts on pick six. I'm going to have to do the math off of this show purely because it's not enough of a discount to just click it and move on. 1 strikeout is definitely going to be advantageous. No doubt about it, but you could blindly click any of them and probably be all right. But I wanted to see if there was a middle opportunity or if a line moves where we could potentially get a 2 strikeout difference between where the discounts are and where we could get. What have I missed? Yeah, right now we've got Manzardo and Butler sitting in the Butler cabin. We got them sitting in the queue. We got them sitting right here, ready to rock on PrizePicks. So we got to add something, and I'm probably going to jump to the NBA streets to get a couple of other plays for us and things we can cover with the stochastic props tool. Again, Lindy 15, if you guys are interested in anything that I'm talking about, which hopefully you are, because these are the tools I use every single day to help me be profitable at betting sports. And that is a very, very good thing. Oh, I went to Underdog. Does Underdog have a Nikola Jokic discount or something? Or is 24.5 Jokic's line today? I bet Jamal Murray points earlier. I went to his alt. I went to 24.5. And I bet plus 125. And you're not getting plus 125 on Jamal Murray anymore. Jamal Murray plays the first stint of the fourth quarter so many times. That was such a dumb number yesterday. There's things that pop up sometimes where you're just like, really? You're going to let me do that? That seems cheating. But also, am I that mad about it? No. But here's the big thing of why I like Jamal Murray points and why I didn't like Jokic points. But now if Jokic is at 24.5, I might have to have a little bit of both. Yeah. This is a really good pick and play on Underdog. That's a really good pick and play on Underdog. Probably going to have a card incorporating that. I just assumed maybe that was a discount or something. But there are potential scenarios where Jokic doesn't check back in the fourth quarter. Jamal Murray, though, he's been constantly playing the first rotation of the fourth quarter. And this is where Jokic is constantly sitting. See this big empty white space? We can go through all of these games. That big white empty space is Jamal Murray getting to go nuts without Jokic on a floor. Big white space. Jamal Murray, guess where he is? He's on the fucking floor. He's on the floor. If they're up 20, Jamal Murray will still be on the floor to start a fourth quarter and get his. Higher usage in that specific spot. Should I keep going? Should I keep going? Jamal Murray. Look where he is. Look where Jokic is. Big empty white space. What does this mean? Why does it matter so much to me? Because if you're up 25, you're not checking Jokic back into a game in the middle of a fourth quarter. If you're up 20, you're probably still checking Jamal Murray to start a fourth. You might even check him in to start the fourth quarter up 25. That's the normal rotation. That's the normal way the Denver Nuggets play basketball. Could they be up 30 and it doesn't matter and we just get a complete garbage fourth quarter? Absolutely. But that's not a very likely outcome. The line is inside of 20. I'm going to make this NBA for a second. The line's inside 20 right now. 30 grand trying to jump in at a low number coming this way. Not shocking. Not shocking. But it is so important. It is so important. That's add more funds as well. I was on NBA rotations for add more funds. We've got our rotations tool. Let me see if that got itself sorted out. Let me double check. Because ours is better. Denver. Just had the swirly thing of death here because these games. Oh, there we go. No, still a little bit off. That's fine. Our rates tool is the best. Best in the industry, bar none. But anywho, that I cannot tell you how important it is that Jokic doesn't play the start of that fourth quarter and how good that is for Jamal Murray getting to 25 points against an absolute garbage can wasteland that is the Utah Jazz. It is so important. These are the things I want you paying attention to when you're handicapping. These are the things I want you paying attention to when you're trying to be early to the party on numbers. We are early to the party on some really good Jamal Murray value. Scroll through. Here's that parlay I was talking about. Washington, Golden State, Dallas, Portland. What do we got? Plus 310 poly market. Well, that's better. Everything else is going to be inside of plus 282. I didn't think there was a chance that number would get better, but Jamal Murray, we got it plus 125 for 25 plus. There was more edge going that direction. He's best available plus 110 right now. Because I think people realized what we realized last night just by pulling up the rates, or not just the rates, the rotations, knowing how rotations work and knowing that this has downside. That's why Jokic has the lowest points prop he's had probably of the entire year. Has Jokic had lower than a 24.5 points prop all season long? And I'm not going to go crazy with this in Pick'em. Generally speaking, minus 144 at penny, you would jam such things. But I think you got to show a little bit of restraint here because of how these rotations work. And we know how Utah works. They suck. They are trying to ruin our lives. Does this mean you like Jokic under 25.5 points? I see him getting around 10 points in 20. I mean, he's going to get more. I see him scoring a lot more than 10 points, Jokic. That would be shocking to see him score single digits. Valdez under 32.5, Gausman over 3.5 hits allowed. Need one more piece for the boost on Underdog. Let's piece it together. Again, I think Jokic is a good pick and play. I just don't know if I'd want that to be the one I'd utilize on the boost. Some other things with edge right now. Khalil Ware. there are some interesting things with him going on today. Probably don't have time to cover that here at the moment. Leonard Miller, probably going to be a no from me. I like to sort it by true odds here, especially when we're getting to some of these markets where you're looking to pluck potentially something that has like a -115, like Herb Jones, over 8.5 points. Herb Jones doesn't score a lot. Herb Jones, you're not asking to score a lot, but he is literally -130, -125, -128, -125, -135, -120, -115 on Underdog. I really like Herb Jones. Who? Herb Jones. Who? Herb Jones. There's no DeJounte Murray today against Toronto. So Alvarado's gone. Let's see what else we got. Just Murphy. Not Murphy. Murray. There we go. This has been a productive show. I know it hasn't been like crazy play filled, but we'll add some more plays. I'll make sure I get it posted for free for everybody to be able to enjoy over on Tails. Doing some of the it's almost like a debriefing at the end of this. On a stream, honey. On a stream. On a stream. All right. We got Herb Jones. Take a look at those rates. (15.3% usage, 3.7% assist rate. All right, not a crazy per 36 number that we're looking at here, but we look at these props per 36, group it by points, and you're looking at Herb Jones 10.8 per 36 on a per minute value 0.3. So I'm going to take those over to the prop tool. We do prefer the over. I'm not shocked by that by any means, that has positive expected value. It's actually better from a market-based perspective than what we have listed there. Sure, it's doing some other aggregation things. You can see it's just dominating the market. And we got him at 29 minutes. We don't have a crazy minutes allotment on him. So this is a Pelicans team on a back-to-back, which kind of, clusters it a little bit. Did I already do my DK pick six plays? No, we haven't done any DK pick six yet. I've got Herb Jones, though, sitting here. And then there was Lawrence Butler. His hits are now juiced, so that's annoying. Let's take another look at this. I want to go to MLB. I like making one MLB, one NBA, especially on days like this. Keep me organized. Keep me on point. Look at the total hits and see if there was anything that was low hanging still. This is going to be just strictly market based. Let's go by true odds. Let's scroll down here because we're not going to run into anything until around the -130 range. Yeah, Max Muncy. I wish I still had Muncy available for you. That would make me so happy. Yeah, these got completely clustered over on Underdog. People doing the same thing we were. Snagging some good numbers. What's the over on Freeland K's looking like? Poverty. Pretty sure it's poverty. I think the word for Kyle Freeland is poverty. And it's -248 on Underdog. Literally the worst place on planet Earth you could potentially play K's for Kyle Freeland is on Underdog today. Herb Jones, love. Love, love, love. There was one K prop that I thought was interesting for it once upon a time. George Kirby. He's gotten nuked now too. He has gotten nuked now too. It's a bummer. That could have been good times. Could have been a contender. Yusei Kikuchi, perfectly efficient. Brought that up yesterday. There's just nothing I could comb out of Kikuchi. Nothing. Cole Reagan's under 6.5 strikeouts is somewhat okay. I'm going to be sticking clear of that one too. Again, the answer for me early in an MLB season, if I'm kind of like stuck on should I or shouldn't I, is I won't. Like I shouldn't is probably the right way of going about it. No need to force thin bets in an MLB season. We're going to have plenty of very advantageous bets with a ton of positive expected value. Like George Kirby's a good bet at -115 on the over 5.5 strikeouts, and it's sticking out from a market-based perspective. I have it closer to like -150. But not playable on Pick'em. Not playable. Not playable on Pick'em. One other market we can take one look at, hits plus runs plus RBIs. This has had a couple of interesting pieces of value. Yesterday, I thought Kerry Carpenter was a great add to the card. And of course, 0 for 5 on a day where every Detroit Tiger smashed baseballs except for him in the leadoff spot. So shout out that crusty mother trucker. Hate you, Kerry. Kerry Bonds. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Just trying to ruin my day. Yeah, 2 hooks yesterday. That was a dirty one. Got the Christopher Sanchez at a nice plus money multiplier on Underdog, over 17.5 outs. Off the top of my head, I'd say yes. $21 home runs. You got to get one maybe off of the pen. I bet Max Muncy because he shouldn't be plus 750 or whatever the shit we got on him. That was absurd. That was an absurd number to wake up to. Max Muncy in the Athletics uniform, for what it's worth. I like that Max Muncy today. There's some killers. Kurtz is a killer. Soderstrom, we got to work on the launch. Shea, killer. Brent Rooker, killer. Lawrence Butler, got to work on the launch, but also decent enough. Max Muncy, just wait. This is a 139 batted ball event sample size. He's going to look real good come season's end. I'm doing both. We have Herb Jones sitting in the queue. I've got 2 hits props sitting in the queue on PrizePicks. We're going to finish the loop on both of those. Maybe take a look at DK pick 6, and then we're going to get the heck up out of here. But going back to the stochastic props tool, let's find ourselves another NBA one for you. So Herb Jones, covered that one. I do like that. Jokic, I'm very nervous about that last rotation. Very, very nervous about it, but I do think it's viable. Dyson Daniels. Got Jock Landale questionable. This is going to be a very interesting basketball game. We have no Jaylen Brown. Now we get Jason Tatum out there with the team to himself. First time we could really get to have that kind of a look, which I'm kind of excited about. But you look at Dyson Daniels at kind of a 4.5 type number. Yes, they play slow. Yes, there are terrifying things, but we're seeing some -141s. There are a couple of numbers inside of -115, but you look at like sharp books, Penny. I'd like to know where Circa is. I don't know if Circa had their props out for anything, but I don't see Circa on our board right now. I think this is a very advantageous pick and play. Where is that? 4.5 assists. Double check and make sure his rebounds, assists are 11.5. All right. Yeah. That's actually been a really interesting market top down lately. Definitely would be on the under. You know what? The under of 11.5 for Dyson Daniels is interesting. If you want to try to get a little bit cute, there obviously is a little negative correlation, but I like the Herb Jones play. I'm not going to say so much because it's freaking Herb Jones. Like, how much can you love Herb Jones? I guess last 4 people are going to love him. Notice how the box score wasn't something I cared about at all. I just looked at the rates, and obviously Toronto's a downgrade for a defensive wing like Herb Jones to actually score. But if you wanted to try to get a little cute, I don't hate about like weighting this a little bit more heavily towards the underside, maybe going like 5 here. We could just go split 5 and 5. Oh, what did I have attached to up here too? Oops. What did I have? Did I have both of those in the card on accident? No, I just didn't take it out. Okay. This might be getting a little too cute long-term, but I think there's a really nice pocket and there's an actual middle built in there. Market-based 4.5 is juiced, under 11.5. If he has a really poor rebounding game, I think there's a world where you hit both of those. I don't mind it. So now watch him get a double-double with rebounds and we lose both legs. That would be especially a dick kick. But I think market-based, it actually looks a little bit better on the under 11.5 than what it does on the over. Like, this edge is being calculated based on everything across the board here. Plus 105 would be the right bet side of this one, but I don't hate this. Wild. Where's McGonigal? Where's his total bases at? I love this guy more than words. This is 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. You're getting plus money on the over. I'm assuming he's batting 6th again today. He'll be batting 2nd, I think, in short order. I love this kid so much. I'm so high on him. It's been since what, February I've been singing his praises? Since when did I start doing baseball? That was like a month ago. Definitely no for Pick'em. Bet 365. You could. I won't. I bet his homer. This is what I want. That's the good shit. And actually, I got the worst of it. He's at plus 750. I got him at plus 700, I think. Did I not? We'll find out here in a second. At plus 700. Please bet the plus 750 for me. Do that now. Gonigal right there too, plus 680. So yeah, you're getting the best of the number now, which is a little tilting. A little bit tilting. Throw Herb Jones back up here. So we've got it. And PrizePicks. We need to close the loop on PrizePicks as well. Let's check out the NBA market-based stuff to go with those hits that we had. Or projection-based. Now we're going to go bottom up. Bottoms up, bottoms up. Da-da-da-da-da. And I see you in them jeans or whatever the shit. Whoa, is that a lot of edge? Where's Drew across the market right now? Yeah, we're going to take the under. Well, actually, no. We got to take Polymarket off of this. This is ruining everything. Is he questionable today? No. What is going on with that? Let's get away from the market blend right now. I just want to see our projections. So G.G. Jackson, Amon Thompson, assists. Interesting. So we're covering 5. 5 being a massive cover because at 4 you lose, 5 you push. I don't love it for a 3-pick card, but in a 6-pick card, I do like the Amon Thompson 5. I don't mind the Guy Santos 4. Look at Dyson Daniels just staring us down again. Just looking into our souls, asking you how bad you want it, Eric. How bad you want it. Yeah, EV tilt. Isn't that good tilt? That's good tilt to have. Fears, Tatum, Klingon are the smashes today. Klingon if you get Robert Williams out. Portland doesn't play tomorrow. Freaks me out a little bit. They're not on the back-to-back. Atlanta is on the back-to-back. A lot of fascinating stuff in the market today. Tatum, 14.5. All right, we're going to close the loop on today. This is wild. I get it. Jason Tatum's going to play basketball by himself without Jaylen Brown today, but this is undeniably a very, very, very good play. Undeniably. You want to make money long-term? I think that under rebounds plus assists on both sites. I'm going to add this to PrizePicks first, and then I'm going to add it to Underdog where it's a little bit more advantageous. But we have these 2 hitter props that are just sitting here. They're waiting for something to happen. They're just twiddling their thumbs, biding their time, figuring out what's next in their lives. That's just a gigantic number. We're going to put 5 on it. And I'm going to use that Flex Friday, even though I'm limited to $5 because they fucking hate me. But I guess I've won money from them, so I guess that might be why. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. It was worth it. Plus, there's still ways to get a lot of exposure. Got to rotate some stuff around. Got to do a little extra work. For somebody who's done an 1.5-hour stream, I don't think work is my issue in life. Maybe sanity. Maybe sanity. But that's about it. So we got a really nice card. The hits, pay attention to those hits props. If this continues, it's going to be a fun year on PrizePicks. What day is it today? It's the 27th. I'm going to post the link there. There we go. Oh, everybody's talking about a Tiger Woods car crash. I will not be okay if he's not okay. Holy shit. Got that posted over on Tails for everybody. So you headed to Tails, which, again, right above my head. That's why I put myself right here. I'm right below Tails. And if you go to Tails and you scroll down, Live with Lindy, PrizePicks, 327. Don't mind, just bolded the whole damn thing for absolutely no reason. But anywho, the link's there. You can click on that. Get you exactly to what we had today. Lawrence Butler, Jason Tatum under 14.5 rebounds plus assists, and Kyle Manzardo over 0.5 total bases. Pay attention to the hits, pay attention to the total bases. We're going to get a lot of volatility as far as like where somebody shows up in one, but these are identical things. 0.5 total hits and 0.5 total bases. They're the same damn thing. D'Anthony Melton downgraded as we're on this program. Brandon Pajemski. Inactive. God, they move so. Oh, back. I'm going to try to snipe a little something on that. Never hurt nobody. Points plus assists might be the better path there, but it's Washington. And if you take Melton, that's just a lot of usage. Off the top of my head, these are the things that I start to figure out after a while in my brain, where I'm like, what's the most advantageous of anything that I could have clicked on? Normally, you're going to take the whole portfolio and just move it up. But really, I think there's not like a bigger minutes upside for Brandon Pajemski. But if we take Melton off the floor along with Curry and Butler, because he's dead, and Moody because he's dead, and Heald because he doesn't exist anymore. He's not on their team. He's not on their team. Holy shit. We clicked on a lot of idiots. All right, let's take these 7 off. Oh, you had to walk away for a minute earlier? Dyson Daniels. We like over 4.5 assists, but I also like less, the lower on 11.5. So we played each of those in conjunction with Herb Jones over 8.5 points. I did one side with one side with the other, giving me kind of 2 cracks. So one's like minus 125, minus 130 everywhere else. That's this one. This one's closer to like the minus 120 on everything, but we're getting minus 115, and there's a middle that exists there if it's a poor rebounding performance. But the assists, considering where they're juiced to and considering where that lower is juiced to, the thing that it's kind of a fade on rebounds and a backing of assists. There's a middle that occurs that we can find that I think is a nice pocket. I'd be surprised to lose both sides of Dyson Daniels in this scenario. He'd really have to have 8, 9, 10 rebounds to really, really burn us. Otherwise, one side of that is looking really good. So that was the path. We did like a lower unit allocation than I would typically do. Like I'm playing $25 cards, $50 cards normally for a lot of these. I have the optimizer where I have hundreds of $1 cards where I'm rotating around different market-based plays. I'm going to try to introduce that to the premium Discord sooner rather than later. I'm just working on it on my own. Something I do in the shadows. But Jones Pajemski. But we did the Dyson Daniels, 11.5 rebounds plus assists, or lower on that one, and then higher on 4.5 assists. So a little bit of a 2 cracks at the same apple. Rather than spending $10 on one side of it, going 5 and 5 there, it made some sense. And we got the PrizePicks card posted. We got that covered. I'll post pick 6 a little bit later because I do have to do a little bit more digging on some of those strikeouts. They've got 1 strikeout downgrade on a couple of these guys. Just want to make sure that I get the right ones, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to go take 15, 20 minutes here and go figure that out and maybe figure out the rest of my life. But this was a really fun stream. Again, hour and a half of just talking pick'em, talking MLB, talking NBA, helping you guys make the best decisions you can, taking your questions and answers, or I guess I was answering. If you can answer stuff that I asked too, that's always nice too. Promo code First Pitch. If you guys want to jump into the Lindy and Friends Discord, be the beneficiary of all this great information. There's not a lot of redemptions left. So please jump on in. They're going to be gone over the weekend, and that'll be all she wrote. Monday, we're going to be a fully operational Death Star. Going to have the right amount of people in there that we can find some success as a group, and won't be moving lines immediately upon posting all the time, because that's one of the things I never want to charge. I've charged $50 a month for 4 years. I've not changed it, but I'm always going to give deals. And this is an access to anybody who's in the premium Discord already that wanted to add on a month. I think more than half the redemptions came from them, which is, I guess, a good thing because it means people like to be in there and want to be able to do so at a discount. That's fantastic. They deserve it. They've been there for a long, long time, but you can be in there too and see why it's so great. Not just all the picks, not just all the interaction, but a lot of other sharp individuals that are hanging out, the subscribers in there. Can't say enough good things about my guys, J Metal K, Lannister 13, Polly Pocket. I mean, everybody, top to bottom. My guy, Pete Shep. Haven't seen Pete Shep in a second. Anywho, hope he's well. And that does it for another edition of Live with Lindy. Good times were had by all. Best of luck to you in your endeavors. Lots of MLB, lots of NBA to bet on, and go Cyclones. Bye, guys.